Okay, TomBerkenmeyer.com. Just get that right out of the way right away. So I'm going to show you a lot of different variations with push-ups, stuff that you don't need any equipment at your home, other stuff where you could use a little bit of equipment, and something that I'm going to show you that's really creative, some creative piece of contraption that I've already created. You can create something like this if you want to, or you can do some of the stuff I'm going to show you that doesn't use any equipment, or maybe some of the stuff I'm going to show you that just uses a chair or a couch. So something that works for everyone, and I'm going to go through so many different moves in this video, and you can sort of pick and choose what's going to work for you. Even if you just pick 2 or 3 stuff that you can start with at home and build your way up to getting stronger, then it's all good. Now, about the title, the boob lift part. So I get a lot of questions from girls that ask me a way to get a nice natural boob lift, because they get older and maybe they've had kids and they start to, you know, gravity takes over, and they want to know, how do I lift them up? And I'm a guy, so what do I know about it? Well, I talk to a lot of girls who have done that in the natural way. So I'm going to pass along information from all these girls who have, you know, the natural way. I'm going to pass it on to you, and I'm going to show you stuff that I do too, because this honestly is healthy for both genders for different reasons and many reasons that are the same. So enjoy this. I'm going to show you a lot of moves on a lot of different things, okay? And I'm going to start with the most intense of them all, or among the most intense of them all, and then I'm going to work backwards. So this is like the first thing I'm going to show you is if you're super duper fit, or if you're not, but you're going to work up to be able to do this. And then I'm going to show you different variations, getting easier and easier. So the end of the video, I'll leave something fresh in your mind this way, of something you can start right now, today. And disclaimer, take responsibility for your own safety and health. Check with your healthcare professionals before doing any of this stuff, because I just want you to be safe, okay? So take responsibility. So here we go. Let's get the natural boob lift going and a fit body, stronger, all win-win at the same time. So the intense version. You might notice I have a nifty little creative contraption here. Well, this is an unstable surface. So my hand placement are going to go on these things. The unstable surface makes me have to work much harder. So as push-ups get easier, you know, I got to do something to keep myself challenged, otherwise I'll plateau. And anytime you're pushing, you're working your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps. That's the push muscles. Anytime you're pulling, you're working your back and your biceps, but with different focus points depending on hand positioning and angle and trajectory and all that stuff. So let's get started with that. Obviously pushing chest, shoulders, it's going to help create a natural lift to bring, you know, your boobs up. It's one of my most common questions I get from people, so I need to do a video. So I have a stability ball here, so that not only are my hands going to be on an unstable surface, but my feet are going to be on an unstable surface. So now all 4 limbs, unstable surfaces, that means I have to work so much harder to do a push-up. And here's what it looks like. Back is straight, because we typically tend to do this when we're in a push-up. Everything's loose. No! This. And bam, there you go. And when I come to the top, I like to pause just for a moment to squeeze everything, like especially squeeze my chest together, because you just get more out of it instead of just going through the motions. You want to make a mind to muscle, mind to boob connection. I just made that up. So make a mind to muscle, mind to boob connection, like you're lifting them. It goes a long way if you make that mental connection. So when I'm at the top phase of a push-up, I'll hold it and I'll really exaggerate my posture and I'll squeeze my chest together as I'm at the top. It goes a long way, especially added up over time with consistency. So, if I want to vary that up, make it even more intense, I've got this 40-pound weighted vest. Strap this on, 40 pounds, and I can just do the same thing over and over again. Alright, so now I'm going to attempt to get a little easier and easier and easier going through all of this. And it's going to be extremely helpful for you, and feel free to share this video so that others can see this information too, okay? And my website, TomBerkenmeyer.com, just like it's spelled here in social media, TomBerkenmeyer.com. Okay, so I can take these off. I can go higher. The higher that these are, the easier it's going to be. Put my feet on the ball, or keep my feet off of the ball. This is going to be super simple. I'm at like a 45-degree angle now. Super easy. You can also use the back of your couch. If you have a nice, sturdy, stable chair, be safe. Use the back of anything. The higher up that your upper body is when you push, the easier it's going to be. And as it gets easier, you just go lower. So that's pretty easy. Also, when I'm doing the unstable surface, I don't have to use a stability ball. I can either use the floor, like I just showed you, or I can get a chair. The chair is going to keep my body horizontal to the floor, so it's going to be easiest because I'm no longer at an incline. So the chair will be a stable surface, and then to make it more difficult, I would do what I just showed you by removing the chair and replacing it with a stability ball to create an unstable surface, which makes it so much harder. And it's something to work up to. Okay, so now I'm going to show another really difficult variation of a push-up. And that's going to be, maybe you got some medicine balls. Boob lift! Oh, I'm like a child sometimes. I just went there, I couldn't help it. But so you got these medicine balls. Maybe you got 2 of them, maybe you got 4, maybe you've got none. I'll show you stuff to do without any equipment at all, I promise. But I could put these on the floor. It's not, you know, these are basically mimicking Olympic rings, but I could put these on the floor and I still have an unstable surface. It's just another variation of an unstable surface. And I can do push-ups with these. See that? I can also, I'm going to adjust this now, because I want to show you this correctly. All right, check this out. I got 4 of these things. That means I'm putting all 4 of my limbs on an unstable surface. So maybe I'll start out with just my hands, and as it gets easier, I'll include my feet. I haven't done this move in a long time actually, so let's see if I screw it up for you, or if I nail it first time. I don't know, we'll see. This is more of a balance issue. Like, I have the strength, but my balance is struggling. So this one would be a great one for me for a neurological adaptation, as it would be for you too, for that matter. Anything that adds balance, because my strength is actually there on that one, even though the stable is on surface. But the balance, prevent Alzheimer's. Big, big deal, right? Okay, so let me show you some variations where you don't need any equipment. And these are some you already know. Like maybe going back to the chair. So this is certainly going to make it easier. Or maybe the back of a couch, you'll be up even higher, easier. You keep going lower and lower and lower until you're on the floor. Harder. And also when you're on the floor, everybody knows this one. You put your knees down, like so. When you get stronger, boom. And so remember when I said, anytime you push, it's working out your chest, shoulders, and triceps? Well, if you want to focus more on your triceps, you keep a close grip, or maybe put your hands together like this and form a heart. Bring your chest all the way down and push up. Or keep your elbows in and push up. It's still working all 3, but with a more centralized focus on your triceps. If you want a more centralized focus on your chest, you widen the grip, like a shoulder and a half, or 2 shoulder widths apart, somewhere like that, and you push up, like so. And you're going to focus more on the fronts of the shoulders and the chest. Now, here's something you can do to focus more on the upper chest as well as the shoulders. And this is going to focus the most of all these exercises I'm showing you in this video. This is going to focus the most on a natural boob lift. And that's going to be when you start doing incline, decline. I get them mixed up all the time. But the one where your feet go higher and so your body's like this, your head is down below. The more of an angle you put on that, up to about 45 degrees, you're going to be working on your upper chest. And when you go beyond a 45-degree angle, well, it shifts from your upper chest to your shoulder is going to be the primary mover. So that's how you play with that and get different focuses. The entire time you're still working chest, shoulders, and triceps. But of all these moves I've shown you, the one that's really going to focus on giving a natural boob lift is going to be any kind of a push-up where your head is lower than your feet are being raised. And I'll show you what that looks like. So again, you don't need any equipment except I bet you got a chair at home, right? So for this, I simply put my feet up. I'm still on the camera, kind of. Now I am. Okay, butt is up and any kind of an angle like that is gonna help. See, you can see why I'm so naturally perky, because I do those all day long. And if you can't do that yet, then just work up to it with all of the other things that I've shown you. I've already, in this video so far, I've shown you ways you can start doing push movements without any equipment and without really having any strength. So you can pick your starting point and then build up. As I've shown you, these different ways that you can build up your strength. And eventually, if you can't do what I just showed you, you can do that. And let me show you something with the bench. Not everyone has a bench. These are pretty inexpensive. I will send you a link to this exact one. I'll put it in the description of this video after the video is done, okay? So let me show you something on this. So you can keep it flat like this, and it's gonna pretty evenly distribute the work from the triceps, shoulders, and chest about evenly. You push with your hands closer, just like in a push-up, it's gonna focus more on the triceps. If you do wide presses on a bench, it's gonna focus more on the chest and shoulders. So, one little thing I'm going to do is raise this up. So now I've got an up angle. Let me show you what that does. This goes back to an extra nuance you can do to focus more in the upper chest region, which is going to help firm this up and give you a nice little boob lift. So let me show you. So you get your dumbbells, your barbell, soup cans, I don't know, whatever you've got. And you basically go down like so, and you push up. Whether the bench is flat or inclined, it doesn't matter. Also experiment with the grips, like I got overhand, I got neutral. It's going to focus more on the triceps, underhand. So you're going to work different muscles in different ways and become a well-rounded person, which actually goes to safety. Because if you don't have pressure distributed along your joints in an even way, in a proportionate way, you just open up yourself to injury and vulnerability. It's better to be viable than vulnerable, right? Especially in real-world applications. So I'm going to show you something else with this bench. So I go up one more. Let me adjust that just a little bit. Now it's at a 45-degree angle. So now I'm probably focused on the upper chest as much as I could be at this angle of 45 degrees, but it's also starting to shift a little bit of the work to the shoulders. And again, just if I go wide, I'm working the chest more. If I go narrow, I'm working the triceps more. Because I'm on an incline, I'm especially working out my boobies. Who doesn't love that word, boobies? So remember, a push-up, any pushing motion, is going to work the chest, shoulders, and the triceps. But if you really want to focus on this and firming these up, getting a nice natural boob lift, then do some incline stuff like this, whether it's an incline push-up or you get a bench and you incline it and start pushing away. And when you're doing this, these kinds of motions, you want to keep your core tight. Seriously, a lot of people get loose and you can open up your low back to problems. You want to keep that really tight. And every time you go up, you don't necessarily want to lock your elbows. That could create stress on the elbow joints, but at least straighten the arms. And then at the top phase of a push-up or a bench press, it doesn't matter, squeeze your chest together and you'll get more out of it. And make that mind to muscle connection and mind to boob connection as you're doing it. And you're going to get more out of it. I promise. And disclaimer, take responsibility for your safety. And check with your healthcare professional if you need help, okay? So, I'm trying to think, did I want to show you anything else? I've shown you quite a few variations with and without equipment and different kinds of equipment, and namely creative. It's a pretty creative piece of equipment so that any of you can start anywhere you want. Pretty cool, eh? And my website again, tomburkenmeyer.com, just like it's spelled here on social media. Feel free to share this. I bet you have a lot of friends who'd love to know some natural ways of lifting the boobies. Who doesn't? It's one of the most common things I hear about. And this will help. And if you love health and fitness like I do, and you want to see what I've been doing for the past 10 years, feel free to private message me. I'll show you what I've been doing. Whether you just want to take care of your fitness and get healthy, or you'd also like to make money, like I've been doing for over a decade, I'll show you whichever one of those avenues you want to go down, and you can see if it would be a good fit for you too. And then we'll do this together, okay? That's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you share it with some people. So, bye for now. Mwah. Oh, I almost forgot. One last thing. Another thing that works the chest. Whether you're laying flat or in an incline like this, got your weights in your hands, you do this. These are called chest flies. And every time you come up, elbows are slightly bent. Squeeze the chest together. Oh, more than any other move I've shown you. This is where you squeeze the chest together. Each and every time. You can start with low weights and get heavier weights as it becomes easy for you. And if you do this fly on an incline, you can do it flat or on an incline. Again, it shifts the pressure from centralized chest to the upper chest. So if you're doing both presses and flies on an incline, you're going to firm up the boobs more and get more of a boob lift. As a male, I love making a video like this. I'm just saying. All right, that's all I wanted to show you. All right, take care, everyone. Bye for now.